a savage killing that took place on the 19th of May 1996. Whilst on release from prison on licence, Kenny Noye was involved in a road rage incident with 21-year-old motorist Stephen Cameron on a slip road of the M25 near Swanley in Kent.
People die with knives and people die with guns. Why is it treated totally different to gun crimes? Stephen would have been a fantastic father, absolutely fantastic father. We'd have had fantastic grandchildren with him, which we've been totally denied by an evil man.
You live your life, but you're not happy. Inside, your heart's broken. No one can mend that.
Good morning everyone, how you doing? It's Paul here from Unusual Things. Now today, I am at St Mary's Church in Swanley in Kent. And I've come here today because we're going to do one for the crime files. We're going to look into the sad murder of Stephen Cameron, a young 21-year-old electrician who got murdered on the 19th of May 1996 whilst in his car with Danielle. And there's a story behind this today which I'm going to tell you, but not only that, we're also going to meet one of Stephen's relatives who is quite happy to talk on camera about what the family went through, about what she lost in terms of a relative, and also about the continuous grief that they've had to live with over the past nearly 30 years now. Her name is Dee Dee, and like I say, she reached out, she watches the channel, and she asked if I had any plans on filming Stephen's final resting place, and I said yes, I'd like to tell his story. So she said, you know, she'd like to speak on camera about it. Now, she's not getting paid for it. There's no sort of financial rewards or anything like that for her. She will be here quite soon, so I just wanted to do my bit to camera first, and then of course we will meet Dee Dee, and of course we will go and visit Stephen's final resting place, and if we can, we'll try and get to the crime scene. It's very difficult because it's on a slip road of the M25, but if I can drive around it, maybe get Dee Dee to point out where it is, then we will try and do that. And also the premises where Stephen was living at the time. She says that it's not too far away, so maybe we can just go and have a little look at where he grew up. But we're going to talk about his story today. And as usual with the crime files and true crime ones, I don't want to focus on the perpetrator because it's not about them today, it's about Stephen's story, and remembering and honouring that fine young man who sadly lost his life all those years ago. Now, of course, if you do like this video today, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, it doesn't cost a penny. And hit that notification bell and leave your comments down below. Do you remember, I think it was classed as like one of the first road rage incidents of its time back, because it was, like I say, it was nearly 30 years ago now. So yeah, if you remember it at all, please leave your comments down below. And if we can, we'll try and get in the church today as well, and we'll have a look. So yeah, we'll see how the story unfolds and what Dee Dee has to say about the whole incident. Okay, so earlier on I said that we were going to be joined by a relative of Stephen's today, and I've been joined by Dee Dee, who's very kindly come down. And you've had a little bit of a travel, haven't you? So you've been up early this morning.
Just 5 o'clock.
Okay, and there's things just dropping on our head, so that's all right. That's what happens when you sit under a tree. So first thing I'm going to ask Dee Dee is just to let the viewers know, how are you related to Stephen?
So I am Stephen's cousin, and I'm cousin to Tony, his mum.
Yeah.
And obviously she was married to Ken.
Yeah. Okay, so so you're close with the family,
Very close.
and after the actual incident itself, you moved in with them for a little while, didn't you?
I did. I believe it was 98. My grandma and Ken flew out to Jersey when I was in Jersey. I think it was 97. We had a lovely time, and Ken always said, you know, if you ever get stuck, you know, always give us a shout, you know. And I did get stuck, and they said, why don't you move in? And so I did, and it was just lovely. I had the most loveliest time with them. They were just very nice, genuine people.
Good stuff. Okay, so what I want to do now is just take you back to the 19th of May. That was the day that the very, very sad, traumatic incident happened. How did you hear about it?
It was the next morning. I was coming home. I'd been away with my friends for the weekend, and I'd got dropped off in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'd had about a ton of messages, 30 messages, mainly from my grandmother. And so I thought, I better ring her back. And so I called her back and I said, Grandma, you know, what's wrong? Are you all right? And she said, no, she said, I've got something to tell you. Are you sitting down? And I said, yeah, okay. And she said, it's Stephen. He's been stabbed. And I said, oh my God. I said, is he okay? What's happening? I'll phone Tony and Ken. And she said, no, you don't understand. He died. He's died. And she said, are you, put on your TV? And then I switched on the Sky News, and of course I saw his red van, and I just, to be honest, I think I just dropped to my knees and I just screamed, because it was just such a shock.
Yeah.
You know, 21, full of life, full of love.
And
it's difficult.
And a tough incident for his young lady at the time, Danielle, who was actually with him and witnessed the whole incident, didn't she?
She was 17 years old when this happened, and I must say, what a courageous young lady. Throughout, when that happened, through the funeral and through the whole court case, I mean, I don't think I've ever known anybody to be so strong. She was incredible.
Yeah.
And she really did so well. I'm so proud of her, and I know that Tony and Ken obviously felt like she was a daughter to them, and they were so proud of her for doing what she did, because she didn't have to.
No.
And she did, and we're all so very proud of her.
And for Tony and Ken and the family as well, they must have felt as though they lost a daughter, because she had to go into witness protection as soon as she went to go against the the defendant.
We had the funeral, and it was the most beautiful funeral I think I've ever been to, and I've been to quite a lot.
Yeah.
And she was so strong through that. And then obviously with the court case, I mean, I just don't know how she got through it, you know, and I don't know how any of us got through it, to be honest with you. It was very, very hard.
Yeah.
It was hard on us all. I think we were there every day. I think it went on for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And so it was a long time going from Kent to the Old Bailey every day.
Yeah.
And having to listen to that.
Yeah. Of
It was
course.
hard.
And the toll it must have taken on you as a family as well, because not only the prosecution needing members such as Danielle to come forward, but there's also the loss. There's the loss of Stephen to deal with, you know, because I could imagine you probably don't start even grieving until the court case is over.
No, I don't think we did. I mean, it was just such a hard time. I mean, I moved in with them in 1998, with Tony and Ken, and the trial, I think, was in 2000. 3 months just before Tony's mum passed away. I think she passed away 3 months before the trial.
Yeah.
And that Auntie Dot, and that was hard enough. And then going straight into the trial was difficult for not, you know, Stephen's friends as well. You know, they came and supported Tony and Ken, and the police. I mean, Kent police were just. Nick Biddis was just out of this world. You know, Brian and Charlie. They were very supportive. And did anything that we needed them to do. They protected us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of Stephen's memory to this day, you know, I mean, very shortly we're going to go and look at his final resting place and pay our respects there. Now, obviously, I won't say where you live, but you live quite some distance away now. So is it very difficult for you to come and...
Yeah, I haven't been here for 16 years.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful church. Father Dane's lovely.
Yeah.
I have a good relationship with Father Dane. But yeah, it's hard being back here.
I can imagine, yeah, it's very tough. Now, let's talk about Stephen. Let's talk about his character.
Yes.
Tell me all about Stephen and his character and what he was like as a young man.
He was so funny.
Yeah.
He was full of life, always messing about. He used to ruffle my hair. I mean, he would never have got away with that now with my hair like this, to be fair.
Get your fingers lost.
Yeah. But he was great fun to be around. He'd walk into a room, he would light it up.
Yeah.
It was like, ta-da, I'm here. We had so much fun growing up. When Tony and Ken used to have a caravan where I lived before, and they would come down for holidays, and when me and my grandma used to go on holidays to Spain, we'd drop in and see them just down the road. And it was just so much fun. I mean, Stephen used to come with his friends, and obviously I was working as a DJ back then. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
Oh, you didn't know that. And we'd go in his car and we'd cruise up and down and...
Playing your tunes out.
Playing the tunes. We'd go clubbing. We would do... He was the naughty one.
Yeah.
I was the sensible one, and he was the naughty one. So I'm just going to say that. But he was just so much fun to be around.
Yeah.
You know, he was a clown.
Yeah.
But a nice clown, you know.
And I think you told me before he had a heart of gold and he would do anything for anyone. And...
Oh, yeah, he'd give you the shirt off his back.
Yeah.
He was just the most kindest of people, you know. He would, if he saw somebody break down, he would, oh, do you need some help?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And we're very similar like that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss him.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it's good to hear firsthand from a family member about someone, you know, because I visit a lot of these graves, I do a lot of these talks and stuff, and for me to actually have stuff drop on my hair like that, it's a normal occurrence.
I'm going to have another bird.
You have another bird living in your hair in a minute. But to meet a family member and get first-hand confirmation of what the person was like, that's why I do it. You know, I don't do the Crime Files one to talk about the perpetrator, because it's not about them, it's about the person whose final resting place we've come to visit and pay our respects there. And I think that's a very important part, because too many crime channels make it about the perpetrator, and I'm a great believer in, no, let's give the person that's lost their life a voice. And it's great to obviously have a family member such as yourself to come along and kindly get in contact with me to do that. Now, at the start of the video, I was talking to the camera and I said that we try and get to the M25, but I believe there's roadworks there at the moment. So what we're going to go and do now is try and see if we can get to the house. Was it, or flat?
It's
house?
a bungalow.
A bungalow, sorry. I knew it'd be there somewhere. The bungalow which Stephen was living in at the time of the incident, and which subsequently you then moved into.
I then moved into for about several years.
Several years.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go and visit the bungalow if we can, and then we'll come back and pay our respects to Stephen and his final resting place. Is there anything else that you'd like to add at all, Dee Dee?
Well, I have actually got a statement from Uncle Bill.
Okay.
So Uncle Bill is Tony's brother.
Yeah.
Who I am currently caring for and have cared for a couple of years
Okay,
now.
yes.
And I've got a statement. Is that all right?
Yeah,
to
please,
read it?
please read it.
Glasses
Yeah.
Because
We've got to get Uncle Bill's statement out, definitely.
yes, he knows I'm here today. So, dear Paul, Unusual Things viewers, I would like to thank Dee Dee for approaching Stephen's 50th heavenly birthday this year to your channel and to do this documentary about who Stephen was in his very short life. Stephen was very much like me as my nephew, full of life, full of fun and full of love. And he had very good friends and a loving family around him. I miss my sister Tony and her brother John, and I hope they're all together again, looking down on us all with love. I'm sure that Dee Dee will do a good interview, for this will be the only time that she will, so please take good care of her. Sending all my love and thanks to your channel, and may God bless you all, Bill.
Aww. Wow, I'm lost for words, to be honest with you, Dee Dee. So can you thank Bill for us on behalf of everyone and myself? Because again,
I wish he could have been here.
yeah, is he in ill health at the moment?
No, he's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He was
Just a long way?
repatriated back to England 18 months ago,
Yeah.
and he is in a care home.
Yeah.
And I go and see him every month and look after him. I send him snack boxes.
Spoiling him.
I know, I sort of spoil him. So yeah, he is basically in my care now.
Okay.
I wish he would have been here today.
It would have been lovely to have met Uncle Bill, but on behalf of the viewers and myself, that's such a beautiful statement. And yeah, please send him our best wishes, won't you, as well? Okay. So now we're going to see if we can get out on the road, and we're going to find the bungalow where Stephen was living at the sad time of the incident, and then Dee Dee subsequently moved in with Tony and Ken afterwards. Okay, so I'm just standing outside St Mary's Church in Swanley, and there is a plaque which is here on the wall for Stephen, so we'll have a quick look at that as well. And they shall beat their swords into ploughshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his tree, and none shall make ever afraid. For the mouth of the Lord hosts has spoken. The tree of peace is planted, precious to the memory of Stephencameron, whose life was ended by an act of mindless violence, but his memory shall live forever. As his tree grows, may the sentiment of the prophecy of Micah come true. 18th November 1996. I'm just going to film down the street, but I'm going to hold my camera there, but just...
That's when Tony's mum was in those block of flats down there.
Oh, okay.
So we literally were
All like near each other?
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Oh, okay.
And as you come down this road and you take a left and you got about 200 yards.
Yeah.
And then you've got the traffic lights, and then as you turn left, that's where the incident happened.
Yeah, okay. So not too far away at all then, really?
Not too far away, 200 yards.
Yeah.
200 yards.
Dee Dee's obviously explained to us how the effects of Stephen's murder had an impact on her life, of course, and the family. And now we're at the cemetery, and we're going to go and find Stephen's final resting place, which you're obviously going to point me in the right direction, so I don't have to go searching for it for once. But on behalf of myself and the channel, my viewers, we've got a small token of our appreciation for you today, and for Stephen, of course. Okay, so we'd like to give these to you, to give to Stephen, as a thank you from us to you, and a thank you and a respect, obviously, to Stephen from the viewers and myself. So we'll have a walk up there and
Thank you very much.
place some on there. All right? Okay. So we've put some flowers down for Stephen, and from myself and the viewers, first of all, say we're so sorry, Stephen. You know, no one can imagine what you went through, but not only that, we can't imagine what Dee Dee and the rest of the family went through as well. So our thoughts are with you. Bless you. I'll leave you in peace to say so. So there we have the sad story of Stephencameron, a young man whose life was tragically taken in what appears to be a road rage incident back in 1996. We have to say a massive thank you to Dee Dee today for giving her input to the story and allowing us to ask some questions. You know, it's a very sensitive nature. And I suppose that's one thing that was highlighted to me today, is that obviously when I'm telling these stories, and I'm always mindful of it anyway, that, you know, these people still have living relatives. So we have to continue to be respectful, and anyone that does this sort of work, that visits people's final resting places, should always be continuously respectful and bearing in mind that they do still have living relatives around. So I believe it's okay to tell their story and to pay your respects, but at the same time you must keep it at a certain level of dignity for the family and respect for the person that is no longer with us. Now, if you want to leave any comments down below about today's visit, please do. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, it's absolutely free. And thank you as always for watching. There are more crime files, true stories videos on the channel, so please go and check them out. There's a playlist on there. If this is your sort of interest, if it's something that you're aware of, or you know, you like to have a look into these sorts of stories, then there are videos on there. And I must say a massive thank you to Dee Dee, and of course send my love and respects to the whole of the Cameron family. And of course we can't forget young Danielle as well, who for the right reasons obviously has changed her identity and so forth. Anyway, I will see you all on the next one. Take it easy.